First of all, we got a few questions. Our last episode was on the KG-1000G Plus, and we have a few comments and questions on that. Actually, questions about the original and the Plus. The first one's about the KG-1000G, the original, and this is from Mark, and Mark wants to know, is there any way to disable voice prompts? Yes, Mark, there is a way to disable the voice prompts, and it's going to be a little bit different with the Plus than with the original. On the original KG-1000G, that would be menu option 7. It's called voice. Those are the voice prompts. You just go in there and you can turn them on or off, enable them or disable them, whatever you want to do. On the Plus, that's been moved a little bit. The menu item is option 7 on the original. It's option 27 on the Plus, but it's the same function. There we go. Our next one comes from Raymond, and he's asking about the Plus, and Raymond wants to know, will there be a firmware update to add those improvements to the non-Plus version? That's from Raymond. That's a good question. Fair question. You want to answer that one?
No, there will not be a firmware update to add the enhancements to the other, to the previous radios. That wasn't possible.
Okay, and this one's also on the Plus, the KG-1000G Plus. This is from Kevin. Kevin wants to know, does this radio still have dual receive, meaning there are 2 receivers and 2 channels can be heard at the same time? That's from Kevin.
Absolutely.
Yep. That hasn't changed a bit. And we have one comment from Whippoorwill, and he's talking about MURS. This is a little bit different, but Whippoorwill says, I'd say MURS is probably more popular than it has ever been, thanks to a deluge of inexpensive radios now on the market and the many recommendations online. It's probably not a service where one would expect to join in on chatter or rag chewing, which is one reason why many have taken interest in it. A group with MURS radios are not near as likely, at this time, to experience channel overlap with other users as FRS and GMRS, even though there are far fewer channels, and that's from Whippoorwill. And I will agree with him. As a matter of fact, I've had this discussion too.
We've got to keep this on the down low, though. If we keep talking about how MURS is so great because no one's there,
then everyone's
going to show up.
Yeah, they'll all gravitate over to MURS or migrate over to MURS, and then it won't be so quiet anymore. But he does make a point that I've been talking about. Here we are. Ham has been around for a long time. CB, a long time. Then the CB started migrating to GMRS, and now GMRS is the big thing. And what's the next big thing? Well, FRS has been used by millions of people, still is used by millions in businesses as well as individuals. MURS is used by businesses, but GMRS has really taken off in popularity in the last couple of years. So I'm thinking, there's going to be a saturation point where I think some people will say, okay, well, I've done the GMRS thing. What's next? I'm thinking that it probably could be MURS.
I don't think
That's
so.
just my guess.
I don't think you can go. GMRS is such a more powerful service than MURS. Like, you can't do repeaters on MURS. You're limited to 2 watts on MURS.
But you can still have detachable antennas. You can,
Yeah, but why would you ever be on GMRS with repeaters and talking across the world and being able to do and say, you know what, GMRS isn't doing it for me. I want to go to MURS. I could see, like, if you're looking for something specific, like you need outdoor radio. The big difference between MURS and GMRS is MURS is VHF and not UHF.
Well, it works good outdoors.
If there's ever a scenario where you need the VHF over the UHF, maybe. But other than that, GMRS is clearly superior. Clearly.
Well, I would say you can still have mobiles in MURS, and we sell a MURS mobile as well. We have one of the few MURS mobiles that are truly mobiles out there.
Right.
So that's pretty, and we have a good MURS radio that goes with it, the full 2 watts of power. I think that I'm not saying everybody. I'm not saying that everybody's going to migrate over from GMRS to MURS. I'm just saying that there are some people out there, some folks that say, this is getting a little bit too crowded, a little too cluttered, and I'm not interested in making this a hobby for me. It's still a utility for me, which is really the original intent of GMRS in the first place. And they're saying, it's too crowded. I need to use my MURS radios to do what I want to do, and I'm going to migrate over the MURS.
Yeah,
I think there's going to be
I
some
don't
of that.
disagree with that. If you aren't a radio person, you just need radios to, talk around your farm or something like that. And you've got, I don't know, a busy retail strip mall next door to your farm. And
if you're on a farm, I don't think you're going to have that the range on that.
I'm painting a picture here, Rick. I'm coming up with a fantasy scenario.
A small farm
in the middle of a city with a strip mall. Yeah.
Yeah, I see those all the time. All those little farms in between the Targets and the Walmarts.
If interference is a problem, MURS is a solution for now.
Yeah.
I agree with you.